views and opinions expressed in the preceding program were those of the hosts, guests, and contributors, and do not reflect the official views of Real TV, its management, or affiliates. Content was provided for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised.
To all of our local, our regional and our international viewers, thank you kindly for choosing us here at Real TV, where we bring reality to you. My dear friends, a very warm welcome to another edition of the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. I am Zelisa Rupani, humbly inviting you to sit back, relax, enjoy. Get your pen, get your notebook, Real TV, so you can take notes and important numbers that will be helpful for you and your loved ones. Directing this morning and in Master Control, Mr. Nathaniel Reed. On behalf of the team, we'd like to wish each and every one of you a beautiful, blessed, productive and great day today. I trust all is well. You are safe, you're happy, you're in good health, and you're having a lovely day thus far. You know, reminding you life is what you make of it. I like to remind you of that, the importance of you being in control by the choices that you make. And if you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you and yours. That's someone special. Don't forget to be kind, to say loving words, to say thank you, I appreciate you, I love you. Have a little gratitude. That attitude of gratitude really works, huh? I'll tell you that. Today is Friday, the 15th of May, 2026, and it is a day and time we'll never have the opportunity to ever have again. Now, tomorrow on the 16th, it's a day that's been recognized in the world as International Day of the Boy Child. International Day of the Boy Child. And so, in essence of that, thank you, Nathaniel. And International Day of the Boy Child. And so we celebrate our boys, our sons, the sons in our homes, in our lives, in our community, in our country and around the world. And every boy deserves the freedom to dream, the courage to grow, and the support to become the man he is meant to be. And I'm going to read this again. Every boy child that is born to this world deserves the freedom to dream. He deserves the courage to grow, to have somebody to motivate him, to inspire him, and the support to become the man he is meant to be. They all are born with a gift. They all are miracles to us all. Every man, as we say, mothers are important and girls and daughters are important. Well, so are our sons, right? And it is important because they are our future leaders. These sons of our soil, these sons that we interact with, whether it's a son, whether it's a nephew, whether it's a friend, a husband, these men are pillars of strength. They are the leaders, let us face it. They are going to be future fathers. They are going to go out into the world and work and represent what a man should. And if we don't instill the right morals and values and inculcate these things into their lives, proper parenting, a good solid foundation, do you understand what sort of future we're going to have? Or perhaps what we're experiencing when we see the behavior of some of our young men? And that didn't happen overnight, you know. So let us recognize their role and the importance of their role, all right? Thank you so much for that, Nats. Let's now quickly go to Fab India Expo. Our quote came to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo. Remember to check out Fab India Expo. Safe and secure parking, great deals, and not forgetting the food court, all right? Check them out today. Fab India Expo. Let's go to the ad, please, Nathaniel. Thank you.
Looking for something truly unique this season? Then you need to visit Fab India Expo, located opposite Medford Gas Station, Shogunas. Brand new containers have just arrived, packed with one-of-a-kind garments you won't find anywhere else. Whether you're shopping for something stylish, traditional, or custom-made, we've got you covered with made-to-order pieces tailored just for you. And it doesn't stop there. Take a stroll through our full food court, offering delicious options for the entire family. From savory bites to sweet treats, there's something for everyone. Plus, don't miss our big sale on furniture. Upgrade your home with beautiful pieces at unbeatable prices. So come on down to the Fab India Expo, located opposite Medford Gas Station, Shogunas, where culture, style, and savings come together.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa, right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you, to all of our local, regional and international viewers, all those of you on Tegu, the app, all those of you in Canada on the Caribbean Showtime television in Canada. Thank you so much for choosing us. And you know, in essence of me sharing all that information and my personal thoughts about our sons, Nathaniel said to me, Mizzy, we still have our court. So let's thank you so much, Nathaniel. You see, when you have a good director, you see, when you have good co-workers and staff, we're on top of things. We work together to make things happen, right? So thanks, Nats. Let's quickly go to that quote of the day, please. Hey. The mics are on. Thank you, Nathaniel. A boy empowered with knowledge, respect, and opportunity becomes a man who changes lives. I love this. Thank you, Nats. A boy empowered with knowledge, respect, and opportunity becomes a man who changes lives. It is what we instill, the morals and values, that solid foundation, as I was saying earlier on, how we teach our sons to be good men, to be honest, kind, hardworking, authoritative, you name it, because they are our leaders, yeah? Thank you so much for that, Nats, and I'll tell you what, let's go back to Fab India Expo. Let's play their ad again. Thank you so much, Nathaniel.
Looking for something truly unique this season? Then you need to visit Fab India Expo, located opposite Medford Gas Station, Shogunas. Brand new containers have just arrived, packed with one-of-a-kind garments you won't find anywhere else. Whether you're shopping for something stylish, traditional, or custom-made, we've got you covered with made-to-order pieces tailored just for you. And it doesn't stop there. Take a stroll through our full food court, offering delicious options for the entire family. From savory bites to sweet treats, there's something for everyone. Plus, don't miss our big sale on furniture. Upgrade your home with beautiful pieces at unbeatable prices. So come on down to the Fab India Expo, located opposite Medford Gas Station, Shogunas, where culture, style, and savings come together.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa, right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you, to all of our local, regional and international viewers. Thank you so much for choosing us, allowing us to add value, to influence you in a positive way. Knowledge is power. Speaking of knowledge, today I'm very pleased, all in essence of tomorrow being the International Day of the Boy Child. We are indeed very blessed and very privileged. I'm full of gratitude that, you know, today on Conversations we have the ambassador of the International Day of the Boy Child. I'm speaking of no other than Mr. Kelson Wilson Moen. Good morning, sir, and welcome.
Hi, Kitty.
It's so nice to have you with us this morning, and you are the ambassador.
Nice to be here. I'm one of
The ambassadors. So we're very pleased to have you with us today, sir. All in essence of this beautiful day that's quickly approaching, the eve of this wonderful day, where we recognize the importance of our sons, the boys, the men in our lives. Yeah.
It's vitally important.
Yes.
Because at the end, first of all, I'm glad to be here. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, to be able to speak on behalf of boys.
Yes.
Which, unfortunately, we have been forgotten.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm saying we is because even though that I'm a man, I'm still a boy, because I'm still learning.
Ah, I like that. Oh, nice. Yes. So I'm still a girl.
Of course.
I like that. And that's nice. That's important that we recognize and understand that. May I ask, how did you earn your title?
Okay, well, I will give you in brief from Dr. Jerome Tilok Singh, because he is the founder of not only the World Day of the Boy Child, which is also International Day of the Boy Child, but also International Men's Day.
Yes.
And also for, which I'm also an ambassador of, which is the IDFAM, the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Men and Boys.
I've always had a great respect and admiration for Dr. Tilak Singh. He is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to a pioneer, an advocate, for setting things right, for continuing to lead when it comes to inform and educate, especially with our men and our boys, second to none. I do hold him in high regard and respect for that. And so I'm very pleased that we could have you represent and talk to us, because you're correct very often. And I like that you've said you are a boy, because we are still learning. We're all learning. It never stops. You evolve and grow every day. You learn something new. Yesterday, I was in conversation with one of my nephews who's here on vacation, is getting honors and doing really well at school, at university abroad, and he's here for a little while. And I sat down and I looked at this young man, having a conversation with him, and I couldn't. The truth is, I had no control in terms of reflecting and going back to perhaps when he was in my sister's tummy. And the first time I saw him when he entered the world. And then I remembered this same porch we were sitting in, where his name was, where we chose his name together, my sister, my brother-in-law, and Aya. And we came up with the name Ezekiel. And, I'm in conversation with him, looking at this handsome, young, charismatic man, feeling a sense of joy and pride and happiness, and just proud to know this child from his mother's womb. And I would put my hand on her tummy, my sister's, this is her first son, Nice. And I was very much part of that journey. And then the journey, even when he was born. And when she came home, I stayed with her when she had this little baby, helping her get up in the night. And I couldn't help but feel those emotions yesterday and understand, look at how this little baby evolved into this fine young man, and still is doing so well and so polished and well spoken, but loving. When he gave his auntie a hug, I felt like, oh God. It's as if, an angel was hugging you. And the reason I'm sharing this is because our sons are important. Very often we capitalize, and I'm using the word capitalize because we're just out of Mother's Day. And you find that there is this big pump and everything is Mother's Day. And then Father's Day is there. We recognize the fathers, we love our fathers, but you don't have that pump. But men are important, fathers are important. They play a very, very important role, not just in the lives of our sons, but our daughters as well.
Correct.
And so your it is important, and I want to applaud Dr. Tilak Singh and his fine group of people that are there to advocate and to teach us and remind us of the importance of our sons.
And I'll add to that by going back now. I am glad that you took that time to be close to your sister and for being able to not only assist within the naming process of your nephew,
I did.
but within the birthing process and seeing where he is now from knowing where he was. It's vitally important.
It is important. It is so important. You know, even I have another nephew who graduated with honors in his master's as well. And I have a good relationship, a great relationship with my 4 nephews and my niece. You know, I'm one of the aunties that are very much involved in their lives because I was the one. They all had children long before I did. So their children became my children, you know. Even in conversation with my sister this morning, I applauded her and I told, and she's younger than me, and I said to her, she was giving me a little advice about my daughter, and this morning we had a conversation on the phone, and I said, Twins, I want to tell you something. You may be younger than me, but you have 2 fine young boys that I love and I adore, and you did such a remarkable job. She's a youth leader. So when you give me advice on my daughters, I take it seriously. I appreciate it because it's coming from somebody, not just an auntie, but somebody who's sound and well-grounded and a good mother as well to her boys, you know.
Correct.
So, we recognize these things, and it is important to recognize these things.
And there's a key thing where that is concerned, because the naming process is important, vitally important.
Very true.
But inside of that naming process, the process through the childbirth is important.
Yeah.
And part of that also stems with being able for the men also to get the access to go into the room himself. So for
Birthing,
example,
yes,
the
to
birthing
be
process.
part of that child
Very
coming into the world. I agree with that, I agree with that because there's a special bond. There is a special connection a father will have, whether it's a son or daughter, it's important. And I guess that's where reality, you know, you're having this baby and you're going through the experience, but the reality of seeing this child coming into this world, and that in itself is so miraculous.
No, I can tell you, fortunately for me, in my daughter's life, when throughout the process of doing the Lama's classes, the childhood classes, I was there with my daughter's mom.
Yeah.
Till I got an award from the hospital.
Aww.
Because I was one of the only dads who were there, which obviously some of the women were not too pleased about that, but they liked it. Simply, why they were not pleased, because I would have also put pressure on some of the men
Right.
who would not be there with
yes,
them.
and then
to support them.
the other women recognized and said, but that's really a good guy, that support is so important. That lady is so lucky. You know, that child is so lucky that he's part of the journey.
Correct.
You're absolutely correct.
And fortunately, because of that, and because of being able to be there, I was given a letter to be in that very same room when my daughter was born.
Very nice. So that is something that could be requested.
Yes.
Brilliant.
And
Nice.
it is vitally important because we have certain saints, plus there are certain saints from in Africa, right? So we have what we get accustomed here and bring up a child in the way that they should go. And when they get older, they wouldn't depart, right? But who is teaching them now? Then we also have, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
But where's that village now?
Yeah.
Another key powerful African proverb that I usually give is the child that is not accepted by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. So,
Ah,
yeah,
that's deep.
very deep.
A child who is not accepted by the village will burn it down to feel the heat
Yeah, to feel
That
its
is
warmth.
deep.
Very.
That is deep. I like that.
And right now, especially since, well, before, but especially since 2020, we have been experiencing a lot of issues with boys hanging themselves, committing different offenses. Then you have many of the men who are still learning, but many of them learn some of the wrong things, as well as they're under different levels of pressure.
Yeah.
So then some of the boys seeing the access that appears for some of the men, and then they realizing how some of the structure goes, even some of the laws go, it makes it even more interesting for access to get certain levels of freedom. So crime came to a younger age because of the revolving door moving faster for them to get in and get back out. Fortunately, I have, which is part of why I was chosen as well, because I've worked in, for over 20 years, I'm in theater and film as well.
Nice.
Right? And real estate and a few different fields.
You wear many hats.
Many hats.
Nice.
Oh, I'm glad that you said that. You reminded me of something. There's a saying that we normally see, where you would hear, Jack of all trades, master of none. I need to try and put that to rest here as well. We in the Caribbean, we have to master multiple hats because we don't have certain levels of resources that many of the countries like the US and the UK and Canada and these places have, where they automatically specialize in certain things. We have to learn multiple things in order to keep up, and then we can specialize. So we can be a jack of all trades and master almost every single trade in the Caribbean.
I see nothing wrong in a lot of people may think that there's a thin line, especially when you spread yourself very thin, you know. But I believe in wearing many hats once you manage it, and you could do it because you become stronger, you become wiser, you become a little more independent. You don't become dependent. There's absolutely nothing wrong in any individual. Once they can manage it and once they can cope and it's working for them, why not?
Correct.
Why not? Why a woman can't learn to put down tiles, or I'm just saying, or fix a faucet or something, or change a bulb. You have to wait for a man to change up. I mean, I had to learn, is when my husband died, I had to learn a lot of things on my own. And I had to become independent, because I was really, it's only then I realized how dependent I was on this man. But there was nothing wrong, because I found a lot of things I felt I couldn't do. I know how to challenge myself, and I did it. I would take a paintbrush and paint somewhere. I don't need somebody to do that for me. You know what I'm saying? So it is the same with men. Why can't we be like yourself, involved in numerous things? Once you can manage it and handle it, and you're successful at it, there's nothing wrong in that. I know my director is watching me, because he's thinking I'm not taking a break. And so with that, let's go to these important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation, reminding you about the importance of our sons, reminding you, because today is the eve of International Day of the Boy Child, but we today are starting to celebrate from today, and we've got a strength here as we continue our conversation about our boy children, the men in our lives, the men that are around us every day, whether it's a father, a brother, a nephew, a son, a friend, a co-worker, the taxi driver. You go to buy food, the person that is dishing the food, we are surrounded, yeah? And we need to understand who they are, respect them for who they are, and acknowledge their contribution and their existence. But what is important, we also need to understand it starts from the womb. That's where it starts, from the womb, birth, and the morals and values and the strong foundation we lay for our sons to survive in this world. Let's go to these messages. Stay with us.
right here on Real TV for the program Unfiltered Youth. This series will engage a panel of young persons from a very diverse cross-section of our society, talking or discussing the real issues affecting them in their daily lives. So join me right here on Real TV on Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. with repeats on Sundays and Wednesdays.
My mom has everything. What do I give her?
This May, give her something meaningful. Celebrate every moment with elegant accents. In honor of all mothers, we're offering an exclusive 50% off gold and platinum plated jewelry, the perfect way to show love, appreciation, and timeless elegance. Discover so much more in store. Fragrances, watches, handbags, home decor, gift items, and more. Visit us at Elegant Accents, 339 Eastern Main Road, El Dorado, 6 buildings east of Cora Junction on the left, or WhatsApp 719-3894. Make her feel cherished because she deserves nothing less.
In a world full of noise, choose clarity. The Real News digital publication is your choice for important news coverage. From influential figures shaping our nation to a powerful week in review that keeps you informed. The weekly edition is available for download on all of our social media platforms. Smart, sharp, essential. Real News digital publication. Stay informed, stay educated, stay empowered.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you, to all of our local, our regional and our international viewers. All those of you on Tego, the app, remember to download it. It's absolutely free, and take Real TV with you real time, anytime, and tell your friends and family. Also like and share, because it's rich, good information, knowledgeable, would help you to gain knowledge, and when you have the knowledge, you make better decisions, and we all will experience a better tomorrow. You know, today I'm in conversation with Mr. Kelson Wilson Moore. Now, he is the ambassador for the IDOBC. What is that? It is the International Day of the Boy Child, right? And he's here representing. Tomorrow is that day. And so we understand on the eve the importance of having this conversation. Very often, you know, we neglect and think, well, a boy should be treated different than a girl, or a boy is not. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back.
Sure.
A boy child, from the minute they start to cry, hey, what are you crying for? Is a little girl? Stop it. You know, from small. So they don't have emotions too, they don't have feelings too, they can't express themselves too, and you know, things like that. You see them maybe playing with their sister and decide they want to play, they're baking or they're cooking, or they're playing with a little doll. Hey, what's that? No boys, you know. How do we deal and with things like that?
Right, so I'm glad that you went there, because on another program that I was on, one of the things that I told them, when we begin to speak in this direction, the boy who his rights was revoked because he cannot show pain or hurt or fear, becomes that man who cannot report something when it is that he has to report it in his station, becomes that man who is now muted. Or
so it's as if he's bottling up all of his emotions.
Correct.
Feeling I can't do this, I can't cry, or I can't express myself, or I can't, yeah.
Correct, because many of the spaces around him are mainly geared towards women, not necessarily for him to be able to speak out. And so therefore some of these very same boys become men inside of the various protective services.
You know, and in many cases as well, you'd find that why is it that a boy can't go and help wash up the dishes one night of the week? You know, share the workload. If you have daughters and sons, why can't he do that? Why can't he take a broom and sweep and clean up? Why can't I go and water the plants? You know, people would think, well, it's a girl thing.
That's actually a discipline thing.
It's a discipline because he's going to go on to be somebody's husband and somebody's father, and so he can't take the broom and clean the house or pass a mop or make up. What is wrong in that?
Correct.
Shared responsibilities.
And I will say, fortunately for me as well, where, that's why I'm saying fortunately, where I can cook from since junior secondary days. I can clean. As a matter of fact, I was the only boy at that time in the junior sec that chose food and nutrition.
Yeah.
All the rest were doing welding and woodwork.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, some different flack I was getting for that. But then, by my class, they used to come to Lime simply because they're coming for food.
They're coming for food. Speaking about that, last Friday, a week ago, right, Nats? We had a Mother's Day giveaway extravaganza on Conversations, where people would call in and talk about their mothers and grandmothers. And one person in particular called in, I remember clearly, I mean, I'm still laughing about it. And he said, well, I said, what was the greatest thing, you know, you learned from either your mother or your grandmother? I think that was the question. And that young man said, well, my grandmother tell me I need to cook and don't depend on no woman to cook for me, you know, and I laugh about it. But it was good advice. Why can't you cook?
Correct. And all boys need to, as a matter of fact, parts of the real education system in the Caribbean, why it needs to change is because of how we culturally are. The fastest way how we learned to learn is by able to teach.
Well, I'll tell you something. I'm laughing now, but it's the truth. When my brother, 2 sons, prior to them going to university abroad, now they had maids and they had help at home to wash and clean and cook. And my brother started with them and saying, hey, from today, brother man, all you learn to cook, learn to wash your wares, learn to go and wash your clothes, because you had to go over there and survive and live on your own. Correct. And it was the same thing my sister did for, talking with Ezekiel yesterday, he telling me, so I was saying, what are some of the things that you cook? And he telling me he cook everything. Anything he feel like, so he don't feel as if he missing things from Trinidad because he will cook it.
Correct.
And I said, well, that's good,
Because that helps you be more whole. So therefore, because same thing, in terms of, okay, you like to eat, you have to learn how to cook. In order to learn how to cook, 90% of cooking is food preparation. So you need to clean around the place.
I think it's important. It teaches you about being responsible. It's a discipline. Correct. And it prepares you for your future. Whether you get married or not, it prepares you to go out into the world and survive. It's all part of survival techniques. Correct. And it is extremely important. Now I'm going to touch on something that's very sensitive here. It's very touchy, but it's the truth. In some, I wouldn't say all, in some East Indian home, as we say, Indian people, their son is the Raja, their son is the king, their son is the one that will get the preference, the sons might be the ones you take out the food for them first. The sisters or the mothers will have to nurture them, take care of them. The property is given to the sons. This is reality. You may not want to hear it, but it's the truth. And mind you, it might be the daughters sacrificing and taking care of the parents, or the daughters will do more. But they think their sons are the Raja, the kings. So they get preference, not just when they mature, but from a very early age. It is what the son must on. And it's part of the culture. And I believe that it's something that we need to have conversations about. We need to talk about it, because in many aspects, I think that is quite insultive, and I think it's offensive as well. That's my perspective. I believe whether you have sons or sons and daughters, I believe all children should be treated equally.
Give them the opportunity. I fully agree.
I believe each child should be treated equally. I also believe, and it's difficult because I only have one child, right? So, and how many children do you have?
One.
You have your daughter.
One directly.
Yeah. So
And indirectly, thousands.
Oh God.
Who I
Lord.
teach.
Teach. Oh gosh, thanks for clearing that. But the point I'm making is whether you have a son or a daughter, or you have sons and daughters, my perspective, and we are entitled to our perspectives,
Correct.
is that all should be treated equally, all should be loved equally, and
Correct.
all should be given an equal opportunity.
Correct.
As well as they always felt as well that sons should be educated because the daughters should get married and go to somebody else's home and have a husband take care of her. And I think that is sad. And I think it's still existing and it should stop.
I agree. And that is also part of multiple cultural issues. Because remember, here we have, and I'm glad that you mentioned the part of the Indo side.
But that's the truth.
Right? No, but this is the thing. Because
Yeah.
you have the Indo side, you have some of the Muslims, you have some sects of Christians who would operate in that way, some will not. You have well, with the various sections, right? At the same point in time, part of that is them continuing certain traditions, which many traditions were active for them.
You know, you talked to us also previously when we started about a disconnection in society. When years ago, maybe in the past generations, we had something that was called a panchayat system, where the because we lived together, if you think about it, in an extensive home.
Correct.
So you get married, you have your children, you come home, and then, you know, that's how it was. And the family lived together. So the grandparents and the aunties and uncles around became the caretakers, and everybody is, instrumental in being part of everybody's life. And so that panchayat system, even in the villages, will come, when you talk about the village being part, would sit the heads and make a decision, whether it was about a marriage, whether it was a broken marriage, whether it was whatever, with bacchanal or confusion or whatever was going on, it was resolved there.
Correct.
We don't have that. We now have a disconnect where the units go into their own homes, whether they live in an apartment or they live in their own home. And this is now the babysitter, because everybody's consuming everybody. So you find
But there's a
even in the
reason why that's
family,
babysitter.
you find even the disconnection with families are no longer as cohesive as because everybody live in life. And not, you follow, even the disconnection with the love and nurturing and care with the elderly is no longer there. The
Facts.
elderly are now living on their own. That would never happen before. Because somebody was always there to take care of them, whether it was your daughter-in-law, or you follow what I'm
son-in-law,
saying,
because of course.
or grandchildren, or even great-grandchildren. But we don't have that anymore.
And you see, part of that has to do with, again, the cultural education system, right? In terms of, first of all, we all know that we are multicultural here.
And that is what sets us apart. That is what makes us so unique and so special. We blended nicely.
But that is also part of the problem, because we did not learn the actual parts of the various cultures in order for it to strengthen us. So for example, you have the Greeks. Let me get even closer. You have the Guyanese, the Grenadians, the Jamaicans. They understand and know their culture from birth coming down the line. So any child in Grenada, from small coming up, they have an idea that we are a people, a revolution people. And then they will tell you, okay, we want to go to college. When we finish doing this and study this, then we might go to TAMCC, which is TA Marisha Community College. They may give you an idea of what they may want to do, structure different kinds of things.
Yeah.
Right? Guyana, you have Many of them will tell you, I've been to some of these places in the France.
Yes.
Some of them will tell you where you ask them about things and they will talk to you. And then they would more talk about house and business and different things as opposed to going towards talking about cars first,
Right.
like how we will talk about cars first.
Sure.
The structure, the cultural structure is totally different. So, but in the Caribbean, one of the key things that we need to understand, culture and heritage is vitally important. And if we don't know the key elements and points of each of the various cultures that makes up our culture, then we will be a forgotten people to ourselves. So identity is one of the greatest issues we have.
I honestly say, and I think we are losing the essence of that. I think it's being, and we need to work on fixing that. Work as of yesterday. That's how serious it is to fix that. This is the program Conversations with Zelisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you. Let's go to these important messages. Stay with us.
Macon Construction Company Limited. Save big whilst building stronger. We build with our Macon innovative building systems, which provides high wind speed, earthquake, sea blast and fire resistance. Is thermally and acoustically insulated. Provides improved construction timelines and cost savings. We provide construction services from design to finish and everything in between. Macon Construction Company Limited. Building green today with tomorrow's technology. Contact or visit us today.
I am Walter Stewart, President of the Trinidad and Tobago National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations Incorporated. Join us every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, where we look at NPTA Speaks, National Parent-Teacher Association Speaks, on topical and relevant issues pertaining to parents, teachers, education, and students of Trinidad and Tobago. This, of course, encapsulates local, regional, and international audiences every Thursday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Real TV, NPTA Speaks.
I am Zelisa Rupani, inviting you to join me for the rebirth of Apne Sitare, Our Stars, a vibrant and spectacular show celebrating the incredible local talents of the sons and daughters of Trinidad and Tobago. Experience the beauty of our culture through singing, dancing, and musical performances as we keep the arts alive and shining bright. Tune in right here on Real TV every Sunday from 1 p.m. for Apne Sitare, Our Stars. See you there.
Let's get straight to the point. I am Dale Edwards, Dale the Voice, and we're going to get straight to the point right here on Real TV. Join me Monday to Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. when we talk the hard truth. We're not beating around the bush. We're getting straight to the point, dealing with real issues, social, politics, and much more. Monday to Friday, the only place to be is right here on Real TV.
Welcome back to Conversations with Zelisa right here on Real TV, where we bring reality to you, to all of our local, regional, international viewers. Today we're talking about the International Day of the Boy Child, which will be celebrated tomorrow. But we understand on the eve the importance of having this conversation, recognizing and understanding the importance of our sons. our duty and responsibilities with regards to ensuring that their foundation is a solid one. I'm saying not everybody are millionaires or billionaires, but it's not about the material things that we give our children. It is about the way we speak to them, what we teach them, the lives we live, because they are branches of us. The apple will not fall far from the tree. What you plant, and once you plant and you nurture and you take care, it's going to have a solid root, and eventually by weeding out and fixing and watering and fertilizing, whatever you do, that's how you'll get the fruit. And it's the same with our children. So we need to recognize and understand, wait, life happens, yes, I have my bills to pay, and yes, we have challenges, and yes, whatever. But yes, yes, yes first. When you have children, they are your duty, they are your responsibility, and part of that is just not ensuring that you have to have a safe and healthy and nice and clean environment, which is important, educating them, which is important, making sure they have healthy and nutritious meals, that's important, loving them, educating them, saying to them, I love you. But it's also about instilling the right morals and values, which is extremely important. That would help bring that child to the level of being a powerful man, a good man. So in the future, when he has to go out into the world, when you are no longer there, you will then be the wind beneath his wings, allow him to spread his wings and fly. But you are solid, and you know in your heart, this is a well-rounded, cultured man. So he can stand on his feet, and he can be firm and strong, and he can represent what a true man is, take on his responsibilities, understand who he is and what he's meant for. And then you have better fathers. You have better people that you're co-working with.
Correct.
They make a difference in this world.
Correct.
They get involved and they understand what their responsibility is. But that doesn't happen overnight, or that will happen with a magic wand or a pill. It happens from in that womb.
Correct. Because so the word is process. It's a process.
It's a process. I like that.
Right? So unfortunately in the Caribbean, and this is one of the things that, again, the education system needs to be structured around, as well as we can structure a different level of education system outside of the usual education system, right? Where we have parts of the focus going on. For example, in Greece, you had the Stoic system of male and masculinity for boys, inter men. You have the Bushido, where the warrior from the Japanese. There's a particular system where you talk about respect, where you talk about honor, where you talk about assisting and doing different things, helping, right? The Chinese also focus on, and many other parts of Asia, focus on shame or dishonor. It's vital, it's cut and dry. Many parts of Africa have similar. Here, because we have a fusion of cultures, our male and masculinity system, really and truly should be built around, again, culture and heritage, but understanding the history of part colonialism, where we are now in terms of rebuilding from that into what we have created in the country and in the Caribbean, some of the stalwarts here, how it is that they structure different things to get to where they are now, and not to focus on the AI in order to deliver certain levels of trust to this. Because when it is that we lose many of our young people, or many of the boys in particular, is when it is that we got accustomed saying, for example, don't hit a girl. Okay, it became standard practice, but how many times have you heard, don't hit a boy?
Yeah.
And we have plenty of that taking place within the last few weeks. Up to...
Well, girls are now retaliating and they're fighting back. They're not taking anything. They're
Right.
fighting back, and I on social media recently this week, I saw, and I'm saying, but where are we losing it, boy? What is going on with our children? Why are they behaving in this barbaric animal? They don't behave like children.
Why?
Where is this rage? Where is this? And they were looking for the head. And when you look at these videos, these children clearly are unhappy.
Correct. And why do you think, and you said something key, why do you think they look for the head?
I don't know. Is it they're doing it to kill? I really don't know. I cannot say. I just think the action is bad and barbaric and disrespectful.
It is. At the same point in time, the head is where this is located. This is where the eyes, this is where the nose, this is where what comes into the mind.
The brain.
Correct. So when it is that the village is no longer there to be able to teach in the right way and give the right information, then they seek artificial information, not artificial intelligence, artificial information. And they go vague and just type out how to do this instead of learning, which is what 90% of the world learn to do wrong in terms of researching, especially researching with things on AI, is not going into, okay, you are giving it a persona and then to try to rectify the issues. You are a world leader in sociology. I live in Trinidad and Tobago. Help me to learn, I need you to help me to learn how to help boys do such and such. I need you to do so. That way it tunnels it to the country and it begins to help you get smarter in terms of your thinking, your description, with how you will speak, how you will address different things out here now. Because it takes a totally different time and focus than typing something vague just to get an answer,
Yeah.
which we got accustomed with doing. Because nobody has it, because it takes time to stop and focus on what description in order to get the results you want in life in general. So because they are accustomed using this and they're onto this, teach them how to use this the right way. It will begin to slow down that rage and that anger.
Yeah.
And there's a few theories that comes up. So I'm also a therapist in 9 different ways actually, of the mind as well. I forgot to mention that, sorry. Which talks psychological first aid, counseling, art therapy for the depression and anxiety, art therapy for, I forgot, yes?
So many different things.
A lot.
I think it's important that we really recognize and step aside more so that we are going to celebrate this day tomorrow, a day that's set aside for our boy children. It's an international day where we recognize the importance of our boy children, that we stop and think and we recognize the importance of our role in their lives, but more important, understanding how to challenge and how to help our sons as well, how to make them feel equal. Very often, you know, we talk about girls and protecting our girls, and I've started saying on my shows, whenever a conversation arises about protecting your daughters, I include protect your sons as well. You know, especially for vacation time, we will say, don't send your daughter there, you know. Or I'm not, you know, I have a daughter, so I'm very particular. You know, in terms of going, who you're going with for holidays, who you're going with for ice cream, who you're going with. I'm very particular. But you should also be the same for your
With
sons.
boys.
Some people don't have a choice. During the holidays, they have to get help, so they send their kids on holidays by aunties and uncles, and very often they say, well, be careful where you send your daughter. And I always remind people, be careful where your son as well. Be careful who's coming into your home, who's coming into your life, who's coming into your circle, because the same way they could manipulate and hurt your daughters, they can with your sons as well.
Correct.
Protect your sons.
Correct. And there's a key thing as it relates to protecting your son. And you touched on it earlier. I'm just going to reverter,
sure.
right? Is, let's say, all right, you have a cockroach. Either the mom or the daughter or somebody started screaming, carry on, running from it.
Oh gosh.
He see that, he might be like, hey, what happened? Is a girl? Well, the two girls running, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what happened? Is a
yeah.
girl?
You're
Go and kill
expected
it.
and supposed to
But
be the
mommy,
stronger one. Yeah. So you
correct.
have no feelings and you have no level of fear too.
Correct. So now I have to learn to suppress that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so now
You're
I go on
playing
and kill it.
macho and you're playing thing. You really don't want to because fear in your tail too. But you want to. You have to live up to what mommy say or daddy say. Boy, get the hell out. You know. Yes.
So now
yeah.
I have to. So now I'm becoming. And watch this. Seemingly simple. When purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. You see the cockroach. You don't know the purpose of the cockroach. You go on and you kill the cockroach. You didn't understand that if your environment very clean, they won't invite the cockroach.
Exactly.
And the flies on some of them.
Precisely.
But it's in the environment, and now you get sent to kill. Now, as seemingly simple as it sounds, you don't know the purpose of it and why it's there, but you are sent to kill it. And next one you see, you are sent to kill it because now you become the assassin for the cockroach.
You know, I've never thought of that, but you're absolutely correct. That's the first. You're killing something that is alive. That's God's
Correct.
creation. It's
Correct.
alive. So,
So, yeah, you see it now?
that's important. I think that's really important. That we
It
even
is.
recognize, we take it for granted, well, it could kill or this and that. But channel or get it out. And you do what you're supposed to do in your environment to keep it clean.
Correct. And you will not attract them. So therefore, a lizard. Yeah.
Channel it out.
Call him.
Let it go back into its nature. Don't kill it. It
Yeah,
starts there.
correct.
That
Go back
act
into
of
that.
even killing, of thinking of killing.
Because it keeps increasing and
Yeah.
then you become known in the house. No, call so. He just kill them thing. Something go on by your aunt. Wait, what going on? No. But and ain't he there? He accustomed killing them. So as seemingly
No,
simple
you're
as
making
funny.
sense, yeah.
It starts
Yeah.
at home
Yeah.
way broader than people
absolutely correct.
realize.
Recently, not recently, Christmas, I think I bought something and I was saying, oh gosh, I have to get somebody to set it up. My little daughter said, Mommy, we could read the instructions and do it. And I was like, what? And we read the instructions and we did it, we built it up. I mean, I'm not sure if we did it correctly because we're given a little rocking sharp now.
okay.
But the point is the attitude or the even thought of I can do it rather than rely or depend. And you don't need to get a man to do it, that kind of, understood. This has been a really very nice conversation, but I think a lot of information and reality, rude awakening, we just take it for granted because it happened in the past and it was expected. But we also need to think deeper before we act on what we say, especially when it comes to our boy children. Understand that they are sensitive as well. They have needs as well. They have emotions.
They have a choice.
I like that. And they do have a choice. And we need to strike that balance. We need to strike that balance. And the faster we do that, it's better for all of us.
Fully agree. Because again, if he is denied from young and gets accustomed killing from young and gets accustomed with the weapons from young and doing different things from young, why you stopping him when he's older? Your health program in there.
You don't realize that you create that monster. Another thing is spoiling. You spoil your children and then you want to hold your head and bowl. And what happens is that you yourself created that monster. You yourself don't recognize that this boy one day will be a man and he will have to be somebody's husband and somebody's father. He will have to join another family. What sort of man are you bringing up, are you molding to be strong men in the future? You are responsible for doing that.
Correct. And that's the thing, because especially when two becoming one, it is not fully understood the depth of two becoming one. Because, for example, as a husband, when it is that you are looking for a wife, start looking in the direction of, okay, this woman, I want her to represent me in spaces.
That's a deep, strong one, you know. You have to ask yourself, not because that woman slim and sexy and she might be light-cut and looking real boss. Is that the woman you really want for the mother of your children?
Correct.
The mother that you want to, you yourself as a husband want to live with for the rest of your life?
Mm-hmm. And can she go and speak on behalf of you in certain spaces?
What will she teach your children as a mother, as a person? Mm-hmm. These are things you need to be mindful of. You need to be careful. Do your little homework on your red tape. You know, because this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. She's the person you want to bring home to your parents to approve, to say, this is your daughter-in-law, this is your daughter that's coming into your home. Mm-hmm. And these are things that we need to talk about. Correct. Sometimes you go and you just see and you fall in love and you think, prevention is better than cure. Do your homework, understand first, is this really the person I want to live with for the rest of my life? Mm-hmm. And then you ask yourself, 2 years down the road, where it went wrong. This can't be the same person I was in love with. This.
And funny you said that. I was explaining something to a good friend of mine recently, right? Where that is concerned, that when you hear you've changed, obviously, because how I am accustomed being me in my space, you're accustomed being you in your space. You see me.
That's another topic, boy. Let me tell you, when the honeymoon over, life happens, Life happens, right? I just want to remind you, you have to get back to reality. You no longer live in a bubble. That life happens. That's the fact. We can go on. I believe we'll have other conversations. I thank you kindly for spending some time with us here on Conversations and sharing your wealth of knowledge and information with us so that we can open up our minds and make better choices and create better men by how we treat our sons and the things we do, what we implement. Yeah, so thank you kindly. God bless you.
Sure,
and enjoy, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you very
This is where we're going to wrap things up for today. Remember, you are in control. Keep smiling. Be positive. Know the best is yet to come. Please be good, law-abiding citizens. Do what is right at all times. You have that responsibility to yourself and to God as well. And here's reminding you that with God and only God, all things are possible. I am Zelisa Singh Rupani. Thank you so much for choosing us. Be safe, be happy. See you soon.